The Philadelphia Eagles are entering this stretch of the season in a position most teams can only dream of. After a week off, they didn't just survive the bye, they thrived. While other teams stumbled, the Eagles found themselves at the very top of the NFC standings, a place they have fought hard to reach. Injuries, inconsistent performances, and unexpected losses from other contenders all seem to align perfectly in Philadelphia's favor, giving them a rare opportunity to take full control of their playoff destiny. Sitting at 6 victories and just 2 defeats, with a 5-1 record within the conference, the Eagles are looking every bit the team that can make a deep run in January. Momentum, confidence, and belief are all on their side, and that combination makes this squad dangerous not just on paper but on the field, where execution matters more than anything. The upcoming game against Green Bay is more than just another regular season clash. There's a distinct playoff feel surrounding it, a sense that everything is on the line, even if the official stakes are just standings and statistics. The tension is tangible. The pressure is building. Lambeau Field in November is a place where reputations are made and broken. They call it the frozen tundra for a reason. The wind, the cold, the relentless roar of the crowd. It all combines to create one of the toughest environments in football. Temperatures are expected to dip into the mid-20s, with wind gusts strong enough to disrupt timing, movement, and the feel of the football itself. In those conditions, every snap, every handoff, every throw becomes a test of preparation and composure. It is here, in this brutal environment, that a team's identity is truly revealed. Both the Eagles and the Packers know exactly what is at stake. Philadelphia is eager to maintain their momentum, to solidify their grip on the #1 seed, and to send a statement to the rest of the league. This team is built to compete at the highest level. The Packers, meanwhile, have had a season filled with inconsistencies. At times, they can look like one of the most formidable teams in the conference, putting up numbers that suggest they belong at the top. At other moments, they collapse under pressure, failing to finish drives or protect leads. Their offense is potent when everything clicks, averaging nearly 26 points per game, accumulating more than 360 yards on average, and consistently converting third downs. But in crucial moments, particularly inside the red zone, they have struggled to turn opportunities into touchdowns, leaving games slipping through their fingers. On the defensive side, Green Bay is formidable, especially in the middle of the field. They limit explosive plays and have kept opponents out of the end zone on numerous occasions, relying on discipline and positioning rather than purely on athletic dominance. However, there's an exploitable weakness: their inability to consistently prevent touchdowns once teams enter the red zone. That is precisely where the Eagles excel. Philadelphia has built a reputation for being one of the most efficient red zone teams in the league, capable of converting opportunities into points at a rate that can decide games in tight, high-pressure situations. This matchup will likely hinge on which team can impose its will when the field shrinks and every yard matters. The Eagles' offense, led by Jalen Hurts, has found its rhythm again. Before the bye, they displayed flashes of the dynamic, balanced attack that defined them during their 2022 season. Against Minnesota, Hurts dissected one of the league's top defenses with precision passing and strategic mobility. The following week against the Giants, the offense looked unstoppable, racking up over 400 yards, including more than 270 on the ground. That kind of performance doesn't just pad statistics. It builds confidence across the offensive line, opens up play-action opportunities, and keeps opposing defenses guessing. Hurts himself has been remarkable. He doesn't need to throw for astronomical yardage to make an impact. Efficiency, decision-making, and composure under pressure have been his hallmarks. In recent games, he has accounted for 4 total touchdowns with 0 turnovers, demonstrating the kind of leadership and poise that is essential when every play carries playoff-level consequences. His ability to protect the football and make intelligent reads has transformed the Eagles into a team that is increasingly difficult to stop. Statistically, he is in the conversation for league MVP, with 20 total touchdowns, only 2 turnovers on the season, and one of the highest completion percentages in the NFL. Whether through the air or on the ground, Hurts' performance dictates the rhythm and success of the entire team. The running game has also reemerged as a central pillar of the Eagles' attack. Saquon Barkley has looked revitalized, displaying explosive bursts and physicality that set the tone for every drive. His 150-yard performance against the Giants on just 14 carries was vintage Barkley, decisive, powerful, and relentless. Tank Bigsby complements him perfectly, adding speed and power to keep defenses honest. Together, they form a 1-2 punch capable of controlling the line of scrimmage and dictating tempo, particularly in cold, challenging conditions where running the football becomes as much about survival as it is about strategy. Defensively, the Eagles are steadily improving, building depth and versatility. New additions like Michael Carter, a hybrid defensive back, Jalen Phillips, an explosive edge rusher, and veteran corner G.Y. Alexander add layers to Vic Fangio's scheme. Integrating these players mid-season is no easy task, but the potential reward is significant. If they can quickly mesh with the existing unit, Philadelphia's defense could become a nightmare for any quarterback, particularly in hostile weather where mistakes are amplified. The defensive line, already a dominant force, will have a crucial role in pressuring Jordan Love and forcing turnovers, while linebackers and secondary players adjust to keep pace with Green Bay's quick-strike capabilities. The battle in the trenches will be decisive. Cold weather makes the football harder to handle, slows down receivers, and magnifies the importance of every block, tackle, and split-second decision. The Eagles' offensive line has the size, strength, and technique to control this phase of the game, but they must maintain discipline against aggressive Green Bay front seven schemes. On the other side of the ball, the defensive line must collapse pockets, contain scrambling threats, and make the most of every opportunity to disrupt rhythm. Lambeau Field's frozen environment will amplify any small misstep, turning it into a potential game-changing moment. This matchup is shaping up like an early playoff preview, with both teams bringing elite talent, a sense of urgency, and something to prove. Philadelphia has already defeated formidable opponents and now seeks to cement its reputation as the NFC powerhouse. Green Bay, fighting for relevance in the upper echelon of the conference, knows that perfection will be required to emerge victorious. The elements, the stakes, and the history of the venue will all factor into how this game unfolds. Every snap, every tackle, every decision will carry weight, and both teams understand that the margin for error is razor thin. Even with key injuries affecting Green Bay, particularly the absence of Tucker Kraft, who provided both emotional leadership and critical matchups as a tight end, the Packers will attempt to adapt with their remaining weapons. Aaron Jones and the receiving core will be heavily relied upon, but Philadelphia's defensive front will make every yard contested. Communication, rotation, and pre-snap recognition will be vital as the Eagles attempt to force mistakes and capitalize on the conditions. Nakobe Dean's growing instincts, combined with the versatility of Campbell and Bond, could create havoc for Green Bay's rhythm, and the ability to confuse Love early could set the tone for the entire contest. Meanwhile, the Eagles' offense will need to maintain the balance that has defined their success post-bye. Play action, a mobile quarterback, and a strong running game will be critical to controlling the pace, managing the clock, and wearing down the Packers' defense. Hurts' leadership, combined with Barkley and Bigsby's punishing ground attack, will be essential in freezing the field and dictating the flow. The interplay between offensive line dominance, quarterback composure, and running back decisiveness may well determine which team leaves Lambeau victorious. The atmosphere promises to be unforgettable. Fans bundled against the cold, the sound of helmets clashing, the steam rising in the air, and the palpable tension on every snap will create an environment where character is tested and legends are made. For the Eagles, this is an opportunity to reinforce their identity as a resilient, adaptable, and elite team. For Green Bay, it is a chance to prove that they can compete under pressure, overcome adversity, and remind the league why Lambeau Field remains one of the most formidable stadiums in football. The stage is set, the players are ready, and the only question left is which team will rise to the occasion when the night is done. As kickoff approaches, the tension at Lambeau Field is almost tangible. The Eagles are walking into one of the most intimidating environments in football, but they carry confidence born from preparation, execution, and recent success. Every player understands the stakes. Every decision, every read, and every movement on the field will have consequences. The cold, the wind, and the roaring crowd will test not only physical skill but mental toughness. In a place where legends are forged, the Eagles are determined to show they belong among the elite. Philadelphia's offensive line will be the cornerstone of their strategy. The unit has rediscovered its identity, controlling the line of scrimmage with a balance of power and agility that keeps defenses off balance. In cold conditions, that control becomes even more crucial. Open running lanes allow Barkley and Bigsby to dictate tempo, chew up yards, and keep the clock moving, which is vital in wearing down Green Bay's front seven. But the line's responsibilities extend beyond run blocking. Protecting Jalen Hurts against a fast, aggressive pass rush will be essential. The quarterback's ability to read, evade, and make precise throws under duress is the difference between maintaining drives and handing momentum to the opposition. Hurts has proven he thrives under pressure, and this environment may well be the stage where he cements his status as one of the league's most composed and dangerous playmakers. Hurts' versatility is another weapon the Eagles will leverage. He is equally threatening through the air and on the ground, a dual threat that forces defenses into uncomfortable decisions. Defenders must respect the run, which opens up opportunities downfield. Play action becomes a lethal tool, exploiting aggressive defenders who overcommit to stopping Barkley or Bigsby. Hurts' command of the offense allows him to manipulate coverages and create openings that can turn moderate gains into explosive plays. The balance of passing and running keeps Green Bay guessing, and when executed flawlessly, it forces the defense into reactive positions, increasing the likelihood of mistakes. The running game will be particularly critical given the forecasted conditions. Cold weather stiffens muscles, slows reactions, and can make the ball slippery, complicating passing attacks. Barkley's explosive style, combined with Bigsby's power, allows the Eagles to grind out yardage consistently, controlling time of possession and keeping the Packers' offense off the field. Long, sustained drives achieve more than just points. They wear down defenders, shift momentum, and build psychological pressure. This physicality is a hallmark of Philadelphia's identity, a team that excels in attrition and thrives when the game becomes a battle of wills. Defensively, the Eagles are poised to challenge Green Bay at every turn. Vic Fangio's scheme relies on discipline, rotation, and the ability to create confusion for the quarterback. With Tucker Kraft out, Green Bay will lean on quick passes, motion, and mismatches to exploit gaps in coverage. Philadelphia's secondary, including Michael Carter and G.Y. Alexander, is ready to counter these strategies. They bring versatility, anticipation, and experience that allow them to adjust mid-play, prevent big gains, and force critical mistakes. Jalen Phillips adds an edge, an explosive presence on the defensive line capable of collapsing pockets, pressuring the quarterback, and creating chaos in the backfield. This combination of talent, preparation, and tactical execution could tilt the field heavily in favor of the Eagles. FlyEaglesFly News family, smash subscribe and hit like. Your support keeps the freshest Philadelphia Eagles updates flying in. Drop your take in the comments, and let's talk birds. Whispers have been circulating across locker rooms and social media feeds, but when A.J. Brown finally spoke out, the murmur turned into a roar. Known for his fearless style on the field, Brown has never shied away from speaking his mind, but recent comments have sent shockwaves through the league. Sources close to the star wide receiver suggest that what he revealed goes far beyond the usual locker room gripes or standard frustrations with play calling. This time, Brown reportedly dropped a truth that few would have the courage to utter publicly. Insiders claim that teammates and coaches alike were caught off guard, with some openly nodding in agreement while others tried to downplay the intensity of his words. According to The Buzz, Brown's statement wasn't just about football. It touched on the culture within the team, the expectations placed on star players, and the hidden pressures that often go unnoticed by fans and media alike. The phrase "hard truths" keeps floating around, but no one outside the immediate circle seems ready to confirm exactly what he said. Social media has exploded with speculation. Has Brown called out management, teammates, the league itself? Every post, every cryptic quote has been dissected by analysts and armchair commentators alike, fueling a fire that shows no signs of dying down. One thing is certain: Brown's voice carries weight, and when he chooses to speak, people listen. Rumors are flying that this revelation could shift locker room dynamics in ways we haven't seen before. What's undeniable is the aura around A.J. Brown. He's a player who can change the momentum of a game with a single play, and now, with a single statement, he may be shifting the narrative off the field as well. Fans are buzzing, journalists are scrambling, and the league is holding its breath. For a figure often defined by his athleticism, Brown has reminded everyone that his influence goes far beyond the scoreboard. This isn't just a comment. It's a spark, a ripple, a possible catalyst for conversations that teams have been quietly avoiding. And while no one knows exactly what comes next, the world is watching, waiting for the next chapter in the A.J. Brown story. That's a wrap from FlyEaglesFly News. If you want the fastest Eagles updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Sound off in the comments. Let's talk birds.